The Tails Diary mod just dropped, and this one is surprisingly dark and actually very gross, so fair warning. Tails Diary is actually from a YouTuber named Gruber, who made a short animated series titled Tails' Dark Diary. In the series, we see that Tails is hiding a dark secret that he keeps in a diary. The crazy thing here is that he leaves his diary out so that anyone can basically find it. And this is where we actually start to get into trouble. The first person to find his diary is Cream, and she's able to basically learn his dark secret. Spoiler, the secret that Tails is actually hiding is that he has feelings for Sonic. Cream tells him that he needs to burn the diary and forget about his forbidden love because nothing good can come from it. Hearing this, Tails responds the only way he sees fit, and he basically unalives Cream and buries her in Knuckles' garden. Now of course Knuckles, Amy, and Sonic are looking for Cream because she's been missing for a while and she is the youngest person of their group. So naturally they're worried about her safety. Now during the search, Amy actually falls into Sonic's arms, crying, and naturally Sonic holds Amy and tries to comfort her. Tails sees this and becomes very jealous, which leads him to actually confront Amy. It becomes obvious very quickly that Amy doesn't think very highly of Tails, even dismissing him at one point. Later, Amy also finds Tails' diary, which not only mentions his love for Sonic, but now it also has an entry about how he unalived Cream. Now I thought that Amy was going to run away and go get help, but it turns out that she plans to take out Tails herself. This leads Tails and Amy to have a knife/cleaver fight, Tails having the knife and Amy wielding the cleaver. We can even see Tails holding the knife if we look at the Friday Night Funkin' mod. Now surprisingly, Amy is actually able to overpower Tails, leaving him with a wicked cut in the middle of his stomach. Thinking that she's won the fight, Amy begins to gloat and walk away. But her teasing actually makes Tails so angry that he gets a second win and he sneaks up behind her and places the knife right into her neck. And eventually, Tails takes her head off completely. At this point, Knuckles and Sonic find Cream's body and realize that there's a murderer in the area. This is when they notice that Cream is clutching a tuft of orange hair in one of her hands, and this is when the duo comes to suspect Tails as the killer. As the two companions go searching for Tails and Amy, they end up finding Amy's head in a storage closet. This seems to be all Knuckles needed to see because at this point he said he was going to the cops. As Knuckles heads away, Sonic actually finds Tails' diary and he learns the truth about everything that's going on. But he's actually too late to warn Knuckles and stop him from leaving. And in turn, Knuckles actually stumbles upon Tails while he is praying. After some banter and a little bit of questioning, Knuckles comes to understand very quickly that Tails is definitely the killer. Now something that surprised me here is that Knuckles seems very cowardly in this animation. I thought he was going to actually fight Tails, but he basically begs for his life. Right when it seems like Tails is about to unalive him, Amy's headless body erupts from the ground and snaps Knuckles' neck. And then Amy's body just goes limp. Truly the most random thing to happen in this whole animation. However, at this point, Sonic ends up finding Tails and he lets him know that he doesn't love him and they can never actually be together. Tails thinks that the reason that they can't be together is because he's a boy, so he takes his knife and he chops off his you-know-what. And I wish I could say that that is the worst part, but it isn't. After chopping it off, he picks it up and he eats it. Do not ask me why, but this does explain why he's bleeding from his genital area in the Friday Night Funkin' mod. Now after witnessing this, Sonic still rejects Tails, of course, and since Tails understands that he can never actually be with Sonic, he ensures that no one else can have him as well. He stabs Sonic in the gut, and that is where the story actually closes. Now looking at the actual mod, we see that Boyfriend looks like a Mobian here. And this is basically because he's supposed to be like Cream and Amy, meaning that he's supposed to be one of the people who actually find out Tails' secret, and that is why they're battling and why Tails is trying to murder him. Another thing that you may not have noticed in this mod is that Amy is actually in the background. She's been stuffed in the closet just like in the animation. And there's also a picture of Tails holding a knife and Sonic's name written in blood, and this is obviously a reference to how Tails ends up unaliving Sonic. Something interesting that I find about this mod as well is that it's very reminiscent of Secret History Tales. Does anybody actually remember that animated show on YouTube? Put down in the comments if you agree, and if you enjoyed this video, check out this one where I fully explain the Mystical Crimson Morning mod, or check out this one where I talk about the newly completed Sonics.exe 3.0 mod. Thanks for watching. Peace.